Hey everyone, and welcome back. It's October 24th, 2024, and AI is like everywhere you look
Yeah, it's
these days.
blowing up, isn't it?
You can't even scroll through X without seeing something about some crazy new AI thing
Definitely.
or some huge debate about it. So we're doing a deep dive today
Yeah,
into three of the most viral AI stories going around.
it's a fascinating time to be alive for sure.
Yeah, to look at not just the cool tech stuff, but
Yeah,
what it all means for us,
absolutely.
what it means for humans and where things might be going.
And the speed of it all, right? It's just
Yeah.
incredible how fast things are moving.
So let's just jump into the first story that
Yeah.
really caught my eye.
Yeah,
Google just unveiled this mind-blowing 3D modeling AI.
I saw that.
So imagine you just type in,
Yeah.
a dragon made of crystals and boom, a 3D model just
Oh,
pops up on your screen.
that's wow.
That's what this AI can do. It takes simple text descriptions
Uh-huh.
and turns them into these complex 3D models.
That's going to be a game changer for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Especially like in the creative industry.
Yeah, I saw people on X talking about how this could revolutionize education too.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Like students could visualize historical artifacts,
Right.
explore the human body in 3D, or even design their own inventions.
Yeah.
It's pretty huge.
Huge potential.
Yeah. But of course, with any powerful tech, there are some worries too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right.
Like, what about professional 3D modelers?
Exactly.
If anyone can just create a model with a few words, will those skills just become
Yeah,
less valuable?
totally. And how do we adapt to these job market changes? It's a big question.
It is.
We need to think about retraining and reskilling.
Big time.
Yeah, big time.
And then what about copyright?
Yeah.
Imagine an artist, works for weeks on this unique 3D model.
Right.
Then this AI just replicates it perfectly.
Oof, that's rough.
Like, how do we protect intellectual property when machines can just
Fair enough.
create original stuff?
That's like a legal and ethical minefield.
Absolutely.
It seems like every AI advancement just brings up a ton of new questions.
It really does. It's like every step forward opens up this
Yeah.
whole new world of questions we need to answer.
Yeah, and that's what this deep dive is all about, right?
Right?
Not just looking at the shiny new tech, but actually thinking about the implications.
Yeah. We're not just marveling at the tech, but actually grappling with what it all means
Yeah.
for creativity, for work, for even what it means to be human.
All right, so that's story number one.
Okay.
Let's move on to the second one, which takes us from the creative world to just
Right.
the everyday workplace.
Okay.
So there's this buzz online about AI fatigue.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
It seems like all these new AI tools are actually
Right.
causing stress and burnout for workers.
It's interesting because AI was supposed to free us up from all the
I know, right?
boring tasks, give us more time for creativity and strategy.
Yeah.
But it seems like maybe it's not that simple.
Well, it makes sense if you think about it.
Yeah.
Constantly adapting to new AI tools and workflows can be
It is.
exhausting.
Especially if you're not given the right training or support.
Totally. And then there's the fear of being replaced by AI.
Right. That's a very real
Oh, yeah.
concern for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And for good reason.
Yeah.
What happens to jobs with lots of routine tasks when AI can do them faster and better?
Yeah. I've seen some pretty scary predictions about job displacement.
Yeah.
But I've also seen a lot of optimism too.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. There's a flip side to this.
Yeah.
We have to remember that AI creates new opportunities too.
Yeah.
Like, we'll need people to develop and manage and regulate these systems.
Exactly.
There will be whole new industries built around AI.
It's almost like a historical echo.
Right.
Think about the printing press or the internet.
Oh, totally.
They disrupted industries, but they also created entirely new ones.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're seeing the same thing with AI.
I think there are definitely some parallels there.
Yeah.
And just like with those past shifts, the key is being proactive.
Right.
We need to invest in education and training
Yeah.
to help people adapt to this new AI-powered world.
Speaking of needing to adapt, our third story today takes us into some pretty murky ethical waters.
Oh, boy.
So there's this tragic case making headlines.
I think I saw that one.
It involves a mother who's claiming that an AI chatbot's advice actually negatively impacted her son,
Oh, no.
and it had devastating consequences.
That's awful.
It's a really sobering story. It
Yeah.
makes you think, we can't just focus on the shiny new features of AI.
Right.
We have to think about the potential risks.
Absolutely. And the story really highlights the need
Yeah.
for ethical considerations in AI development.
Yeah, we've talked about AI in creative fields and the workplace, but this story brings in a whole new dimension.
Yeah, it makes us think about the human consequences, the moral responsibilities that come with this technology.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, are we moving too fast?
That's a good question.
AI is advancing so quickly, but
Yeah.
are ethics and our regulations keeping up?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah, I see a lot of debate about that on X.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are saying we need to slow down
Yeah,
until we figure out how to address these concerns.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's an easy answer.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's uncharted territory.
Totally.
We need to be really thoughtful about each step we take.
Yeah, one thing's for sure, though.
What's that?
We can't assume AI will just be used for good.
No, absolutely not.
We have to be really active in shaping its development.
Yeah, we have to make sure it aligns with our values,
Yeah.
make sure it benefits humanity as a whole.
So how do we do that? How do we make sure AI is ethical?
Well, it's a big
Yeah,
question.
where do we even start?
Well, I think first we need to acknowledge that AI isn't neutral.
What do you mean?
It's shaped by the biases and the
No.
values. Oh, okay.
Of the people who create it.
Right.
And it can be used for good or bad.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we need to make sure that the people developing these AI systems
Yeah.
represent a diverse range of perspectives.
Okay, so a more diverse group of developers would make more inclusive AI.
Exactly.
Okay, what else can we do?
Education is key.
Oh, yeah.
We need to start teaching people about AI from a young age.
Yeah.
Not just the technical stuff, but the ethical and societal implications.
Yeah, so the more people understand AI, the better equipped they'll be to
Exactly.
engage in these conversations and demand responsible development.
Right.
I love that. Imagine if AI ethics was like a standard part of the curriculum.
Right. Along with math and science.
Yeah.
It would give everyone a foundation
Right.
for understanding the power and the pitfalls of this technology.
Exactly. But education isn't just for young people.
Oh, of course not.
Right.
Adults need to keep learning and talking about this too.
We need to make sure everyone has the tools to navigate this AI-driven world.
Yeah, this deep dive is kind of an example of that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We're bringing these issues to light,
Right.
encouraging people to think critically about AI,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully inspiring them to
get involved.
to help shape its future.
Right.
So we've talked about diversity in education.
Yep.
But are there specific regulations or guidelines
Yeah, that's a good question.
that could help make sure AI is used responsibly?
Mm-hmm.
I know people want stricter government oversight.
Right. Well, there are definitely efforts to develop those ethical guidelines and regulations.
Yeah.
The EU, for example, has proposed regulations to mitigate risks and promote trustworthy AI.
Cool.
But as we said earlier, one of the biggest challenges is the speed
Right.
of AI development.
It's so fast.
It's hard for regulations to keep up.
It's like trying to hit a moving target.
Perfect analogy.
By the time you make a rule for one AI thing,
Yeah.
a new one pops up.
Exactly. And it might be even more challenging.
Yeah.
It highlights the need for adaptable regulations,
Yeah.
ones that can evolve with the technology.
So we need regulations, ethical frameworks, education, public awareness,
It's a lot.
ongoing dialogue.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
But it's a complex challenge.
Yeah.
But at least we're starting to have the right conversations.
Yeah, that's true.
We're seeing increased awareness of these issues,
Yeah.
and more people are demanding responsible AI.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a positive
I
sign.
feel like it's a turning point.
I think so too.
AI isn't sci-fi anymore.
Yeah.
It's in our everyday lives.
Mm-hmm.
Now we need to decide how we want to shape its future.
What role do we want it to play?
Yeah, what values do we want to give it?
Exactly.
These are questions for everyone to think about,
Absolutely. Everyone.
not just the tech people.
Not just the experts.
It's a conversation for everyone.
And I think that's a great place to wrap up part one
Yeah,
of our
well,
deep dive.
We've covered a lot. I bet there are a lot of questions
I'm sure.
swirling around out there.
Mhm.
But we'll dive back in after a short break
We will.
to unpack these stories further and explore
Yeah.
what it all means for the future.
Looking forward to it.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to our deep dive into AI.
Yeah. Before the break, we were talking about that tragic case
Right.
of AI misguidance and how we need
Yeah.
ethical frameworks.
Absolutely. That story was...
Yeah, it was really sobering.
It was.
It really shows how we can't just focus on the cool new AI stuff
Right.
without thinking about the risks.
You have to think about the downsides, too.
Totally. So we've talked about AI in creative fields in the workplace,
Mm-hmm.
But this story brings in a whole new angle.
Yeah, it makes you think about the real human impact.
Yeah.
The moral responsibility that comes with developing this tech.
It makes you wonder, are we going too fast with all this?
It's a valid question.
Like, AI is moving so fast, but are we keeping up ethically?
Yeah, are we ready for all this?
Yeah. I see a lot of debate about this on X.
Yeah, me too.
Some people are saying we need to slow down AI development.
Until we figure out the ethics.
Yeah. Until we can figure out how to deal with these concerns.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. It's uncharted territory.
But you need to be careful with every step.
One thing is clear, though.
What's that?
We can't just assume AI will be used for good.
No, we can't just hope for the best.
Right. We have to actively shape AI development.
Make sure it's aligned with our values.
Yeah, and make sure it benefits humanity as a whole.
Exactly.
So how do we do that? How do we ensure ethical AI?
Well, first, I think we have to acknowledge that AI isn't neutral.
Okay, what does that mean?
It's shaped by the biases of its creators.
Oh, okay.
And it can be used for good or for bad.
Right, so the people who make AI influence how it's used.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
So we need to make sure AI developers are a diverse group.
Yeah, with different perspectives and backgrounds.
Right, so we don't just get one viewpoint baked into all the AI.
Okay, so diversity is key. What else can we do?
Education is crucial.
Oh, yeah.
We need to teach people about AI from a young age.
Yeah, not just the technical stuff.
Right, but also the ethical and societal impact.
So if more people understand AI, they'll be more likely to speak up and demand ethical development.
Exactly.
I love that. Imagine AI ethics being taught in school.
Right, alongside math and science.
Yeah, it would give everyone a foundation for understanding AI.
The power and the risks.
Yeah, and it's not just about teaching young people either.
Right. Education is for everyone.
We need to make sure all adults have the tools to navigate this AI-driven world.
Navigate this new world we're entering.
This deep dive is kind of an example of that, right?
Yeah, we're trying to raise awareness.
Getting people thinking about these issues.
It's encouraging people to get involved.
So we've talked about diversity in education, but are there specific regulations or guidelines that could help?
Yeah, that's a good question. A lot of people want stricter government oversight.
Yeah, for sure.
There are definitely efforts to develop ethical guidelines and regulations.
Okay, good.
The EU, for example, has proposed regulations to mitigate risks and promote trustworthy AI. But like we said earlier, one of the biggest challenges is that AI
moves so fast.
Develops so rapidly.
Yeah, regulations can't keep up.
It's like trying to hit a moving target.
Exactly. You make a rule for one AI thing and then boom.
A new one appears.
Yeah, and it's even more complicated.
It really highlights the need for flexible regulations.
Yeah, they can adapt to the changes.
They can evolve with the technology.
Okay, so we need regulations, ethical frameworks, education.
It's a lot.
Public awareness, ongoing dialogue.
It's a huge task.
It is a lot.
But we're starting to have the right conversations.
Yeah, that's true. It feels like a turning point.
I think so, too. AI isn't sci-fi anymore.
Right. It's part of our lives.
And now we need to decide how we want to shape its future.
What role do we want AI to play?
What values do we want it to embody?
These are questions we all need to be asking. And it's not just up to the tech companies to figure this out.
It's up to all of us.
It's our collective responsibility.
To make sure AI is developed ethically.
Right. And used in a way that benefits everyone.
Exactly.
So we need to be having these conversations everywhere.
Yeah, in schools, in workplaces, in governments.
We need to be asking the tough questions.
Holding people accountable.
And demanding transparency.
This is a conversation that needs to happen globally.
So I'm curious, what are our listeners thinking about all this?
Yeah, what questions do you have?
We'll have a chance to hear your thoughts and answer your questions.
After a quick break.
But before we go, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
If you could ask an AI anything, what would it be?
Think about that.
We'll explore your answers when we get back.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
So before the break, we asked you what you would ask an AI.
Yeah, if you could ask it anything.
We got some really interesting responses.
It seems like everyone's got AI on the brain these days.
It's the topic of the moment, isn't it?
For sure. So we've explored these 3 AI stories.
From 3D modeling to AI fatigue.
To that tragic case of AI misguidance.
It's been quite a journey.
Yeah, we've only scratched the surface, but it's clear AI is a big deal.
It's not just a tech thing anymore. It's affecting all of us.
Yeah, maybe we should try and, summarize some key takeaways.
Yeah, good idea. Something for our listeners to remember.
So, takeaway number 1. AI is here to stay.
It's not science fiction. It's our reality.
And it's only going to get more powerful and more widespread.
We need to be prepared for that.
Yeah. both individually and as a society.
And that means thinking about the ethical side of AI.
Right. The impact on society and the human questions it raises.
Not just the cool tech stuff.
We talked about how AI could change industries and jobs.
For better or worse.
We need to think about how to adapt and learn new skills.
To thrive in this new world.
It's not just about being afraid of losing our jobs.
It's about recognizing the new opportunities AI will create.
And that tragic case we discussed.
The one with the AI chatbot.
Yeah, it really showed us how important responsible development is.
We can't just let AI loose without thinking about the risks.
We need ethical frameworks, regulations, and open discussions.
To make sure AI serves humanity.
Not the other way around.
That's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, it made me realize we're all responsible for the future of AI.
It's not just up to the tech companies or the governments.
We all have a role to play.
In making sure AI is developed and used ethically.
We need diverse voices and perspectives.
We need to give everyone the knowledge and skills to understand AI.
So they can participate in these conversations.
And demand that AI is used for good.
It's about asking the right questions.
Demanding transparency.
And holding those in power accountable for their AI choices.
These conversations need to be happening everywhere.
Yeah, in schools and workplaces and government.
Around the world.
It's the beginning of the AI revolution.
And the choices we make now will shape the future.
Will AI make the world more just? Or will it make inequality worse?
Will it improve our lives or make them harder?
The future is unwritten.
And we have the power to shape it.
So keep asking those tough questions.
Keep demanding better from the people developing AI.
And keep the conversation going.
That's what it's all about.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI.
We hope it's made you think.
And inspire you to get involved.
The future of AI is in our hands.
So let's make it a future we can all be proud of